We finally made it to Cinderella Smoky Eye. Took me a while, but we're here. This is what I created. I really just wanted something simple with a pop of color. I'm pulling out the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. This is the basics. A bunch of cool tones in here because we are going to make this a cool toned smoky eye. Because I got this nice little beautiful duochrome from Temu that I really want to add. I'm going to start off with a fluffy brush and pop this color Frisk. I'm just going to pop this right on the outer corner like I normally do into the crease. I'm going to buff this up into the brow bone just to give it some blend up. I don't know why, but when I think of Cinderella, I just think of cool toned. Probably because of the blues and everything. And it's blending very nicely. I'm pretty sure Urban Decay has this palette still available. If not, they have one that's equivalent. I'll tag it below. I'll find it for you. Okay, so now we're going to take... So this brush right here is pretty fluffy. I've used it multiple times on my channel, but as you can see, it kind of has a thinness to it. I'm going to use this to bring in a darker shade, Primal. I just love the name of these shadows. We're going to work this into just the crease area to start building the color down. So I'm just going to work this into the crease. Windshield wiper motions and keep it local to there. It's actually a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be compared to what it looks like in the pan. I'll just go on with the first brush and not add any product, and then just slightly with a light pressure back and forth. This will help kind of get rid of that harshness that I wasn't expecting. It's all about pressure. If you put too heavy of pressure, it tends to create more harsh lines. I'm usually light-handed with it, but I guess today I wasn't. I took out both of these. They're like shadow brushes, smudgers. You could do whatever you want with them. I think we're gonna go in with this one because it's a little bit bigger. And of course with the darkest shade right here. This is Undone. To kind of create a color in between it. I'm just nervous at how dark this is gonna be. Kind of almost black. So what we want to do is just focus the majority of the color along the lash line and then start bringing it up. Because otherwise it's just gonna get muddy. And use those brushes that you used with the other colors. Just do not add more shadow because it's just going to create more of a mess. And just lightly buff in between the two. I really didn't want it to be this dark of a smoky eye, but it's fine. It still works. It still works for the idea of what I'm going for. Just a little more dramatic than I wanted. We went a totally different vibe. So if you're aiming for like an 80s rock star vibe, you can do this and just leave it like this. I took out this palette. I don't know if I actually want to do what I was planning to do in my head, because originally I wanted to pop that on the inner corner. Do I though? Do I still want to? I kind of want to. I wasn't recording the whole time. Okay, anyway, do we see this? Nice little duochrome from Temu. Totally screwed myself up there, but you get the idea. I just sprayed the brush with MAC Fix Plus because this is a loose pigment and I don't feel like using glitter glue right now. So I just spray the brush with it first and then dip it into the pigment. It just gives that blue shadow that I just used a little bit of extraness. You just gotta take a moment for this. I just want a little more. For foundation, I'm just gonna go in with something light. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. It's a balm stick actually. This is shade Fair 3. I don't know if it's gonna be my shade now because I did get a little tan. Even though I still look pale as heck. I really don't know how I feel about this balm stick, but it was gifted to me by ColourPop. I sprayed that the wrong way. It was gifted to me by ColourPop, so honestly, I want to give it a try. The shade match isn't really bad, and the coverage isn't bad. If you want skin-like, it's very buildable. You could do a light layer. It's creamy, so it's hydrating on my skin. It's not like overly drying. It blends well with my moisturizers and stuff. I'm going in with my normal contour. This is the Tarte. What shade is this though? Soft bronze. I actually really like this because I've mentioned this numerous times, I don't like cool toned contours. I don't know why. I just feel like because I'm so pale as is that it just washes me out more. I know it's supposed to be like shadowing and all that stuff, but I like to look a little alive. Like, look how pale I look. It's crazy. I'm tired of people asking me if I'm sick. Alright, for coverage under my eyes, before I put my blush, this is the ColourPop Liquid Highlighter in Sugar Donut. And I absolutely love this method because it just helps create a sheen under the eyes. But you think, why not? You know, the e.l.f. Halo Glow, if you used it or ever saw it, it has that sheen to it. And I noticed that when I put it on as a foundation, my dark circles would look more hidden. And I was like, wait a minute. So ultimately, I just threw my highlighter under my eyes to create the same thing. My tried and true concealer is Tarte Shape Tape. This is Light Sand. I don't know if this is my shade right now, but we're gonna make it work. This is creamy version. For blush, this is the blush stick from ColourPop 25-8. It's a beautiful shade. It's very like mauve-y, but it's cool tone, so it'll go well with the eyes. I got a little scared because as it was blending, it was like the line that I put was still there, and I was like, oh no, because I've used you before and you'd never did that. You gotta work with it quick. I'm one that likes a little blush on the nose. I like the unison it creates on the face. It also gives like a cute little sun-kissed style look. So now it's time to set. This is the Too Faced Translucent Setting Powder. I absolutely love this. This will always be my favorite setting powder. It just sits so beautifully on the skin. So I just pat it behind on the back of my hand and then bring it under my eye. This way I don't add too much powder under my eye. If you're an oily person, you definitely do not want to skip this step. You don't want to skip this step for anybody. But if you are a dry person like me, then you will just alter your application technique with it. But you see how it's still locked in a light sheen into the skin. Let me see if I can zoom in for you so you could see. This is just a very, very natural finish. Boom. So if you don't like a lot of coverage, because you can see my freckles still popping through, then that is definitely a foundation for you. If you just want very light coverage, go ahead and take that first brush you used, no product on it. And because we already set everything here, just lightly buff the outer edge to get rid of the harsh line you created when you did the contour, to get rid of that harsh line you did when you blended your concealer. So I just like to do that. It's like a champagne sheen. It's supposed to be almost like a highlighting powder, but it is supposed to help reflect under your eyes. I was doing this with the ABH highlighter powder, so it kind of does the same thing, just more expensive. Very expensive. Once you get that name Hourglass in there, man. I have to add a little bit of lightening. I don't like how dark that is. So I'm taking just a light highlight powder, putting it on top, which I'm not really happy about doing this right now because I don't want too much product under my eyes. It dries out my under eyes and I get that look like a Sphinx cat under my eye. That wrinkly skin. So I'm just taking MAC Fix Plus on the blender and patting it in to rehydrate my skin. Because I threw on all that powder, it dried out my under eyes even more. I really just need to balance this out here because I feel so pale. So just popping in some powdered contour to kind of help bring everything back together. I'm gonna put a little bit up here. I normally don't, but I'm feeling a little different today. Let me zoom in so you can see. But you can see like how under my eyes look now after adding the Fix Plus. But you can also see the color difference a little bit. But I'm hoping to balance it out. That powder is just a little bit too dark for my skin tone, so it doesn't really blend in like I thought it would. If I'm tan, it will, but yeah, you can see the color difference right here. I can, anyway. The rule of thumb is if the closer you go to your inner corner, the more closed the eye's gonna look. I always say to keep the eyes remaining open, try to avoid bringing it all the way in. So this is the highlighter. I kind of went a little crazy on the cheek, but I really wanted to create the illusion of glass skin, which is what adding the highlighter does. As you can see, you see that? So it creates glass looking skin. You're kind of using light reflecting with it to manipulate the look of your base. For lip combo, we are going in with ColourPop's BFF3, and this is Morphe's Honey. This lip liner is like my favorite one. I use it for like almost all of my combos. And this is the final look. I love this so much. The skin is still looking good. I did need to do a little bit more blending right here, but it's fine. We're in the safe zone still. Are we taking a look at the eyes? The inner corner pop, the highlight, just everything about this. Just Cinderella Smokey. And this can be simplified. You don't have to go as intense with the eyes if you don't want to. If you enjoyed watching me create this look, please give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, do all the things so that I can continue creating content I know you love. And I hope to see you in the next one.